One for you today, guys. We are talking about a super unique subsurface bait. But, anyways, welcome to the Lure Lab. As always, I'm your host, the Captain Andrew Full, and the Lure Lab is presented by Omnia. And anything that we talk about on this episode today will be linked down below in the description. So make sure you type in code SERIOUS10 at checkout after hitting those bait links down below. We greatly appreciate it. And also, one other thing before we get into today's episode, I want to let you know about Omnia Premium Pro membership. Right now, Omnia is giving the Lure Lab listeners $50 gift card back at checkout if you use code Lure Lab. So you have to go to the Premium Pro spot. If you're not a member, click the link, check out. It's $59. After you're done checking out, there will be a $50 credit applied to your Premium Pro account, and that allows you to earn 10% back on every single purchase, and you can double up, use code SERIOUS10, and save even a little bit more money. And every time you earn that 10%, it goes into your balance, so you have more money to spend later on more fishing tackle. But anyways, today we're dropping some juice on a subsurface bait. Wes Logan is joining us, and it's one of his favorite baits, and we're talking about the Unitoad by Zoom. Probably one of the most slept on baits there is on the Zoom lineup. So make sure you listen through this one. We're going to talk about where to throw it, how to target bass with it, best colors, conditions, rod, reel, and line setup, all the 9 yards. This is a super juicy lab. So let's get Wes on here and get chatting. And welcome back to the Lure Lab, the man, Wes Logan. What's up, dude?
I don't know it, man. I wouldn't call me the man, but I do know a thing or two about a thing or two. So
I think today, Jack of all trades, master of none, we'll call
yeah,
it.
ace of none.
Ace of none, specifically smallmouth.
Yeah,
No offense. You can
we'll get
catch
it figured out. We'll get it figured out one day.
Yes, but we're here to talk about one of probably your favorite baits, right? Like we talked about this on a previous episode. I think exactly the last time you were on the Lure Lab, and that is the Zoom Unitoad. And got a few questions for you on it. It's something that I've hardly thrown, and I have a few in the boat, and I haven't come across the perfect scenario in my mind to rig it up. So I want to know right off the hop, what makes it different from other styled toad baits, right? The first thing I notice is that it's got this huge rudder on it. So can you kind of talk about it for a second?
Yeah, so basically, and to start off, I feel like it's a bait that doesn't have a lot of attention, that gets a lot of bites. But I think the reason for it is kind of people like see it like you, and you're like, how do I, like, what scenario would I pick this up over something else, or when is this better than anything else? And I think when people initially saw the bait, I think with that big rudder, like the big paddle tail, I think they kind of mistook it for like a big easy type bait. Like fast reeling, gurgling on top of the water, which is really not what it's designed for. I mean, I'm sure there's some instances where you can make it do that, but it's not where it like what we made it for. And Brandon Cobb's basically the one that designed it, and basically it's more along the lines of like a skinny dipper type bait where you're just slow reeling it. Not as much as a Kitech, but like any like swim jig trailer, paddle tail stuff like that. It's got more of the rocking action than you would think, like when you get it in the water.
So you're trying to make it like do a slightly subsurface V, basically, almost like a wake bait, but not like a little bit below where the wake bait would be.
Yeah. So what you'll get
Essentially.
is like any of those. I'm just trying to think of baits that people would be familiar with, like a cane thumper. I think is the name of one. This obviously the skinny dipper, the like the big spanky from net bait, like all of those type baits, like where you put a big EWG style hook in it. What you'll get with those is it's obviously subsurface. You're wanting to make it kind of create the V weight bait type deal. But the problem with those, they're so narrow with that big paddle tail, you get a tendency of them wanting to twirl through the water, like the whole bait will be doing this. Well, with that wide body, where we took the horny toad style body and put the paddle tail on it, it gives it a really good rocking action. That I mean, it doesn't twirl at all, which I really like because you can reel it at different speeds and it doesn't blow out. It still does the same thing whether you're slow winding it or kind of speed it up a little bit. But there's numerous ways to throw it and like obviously different situations. But I mean we're going to get into that. But that's kind of where I think the misconception gets with that bait when they first see it. They think it's designed for this, where it's really the subsurface like slow winding type deal.
Understood. So, like, you know, there's probably a plethora of situations that you can throw it like in the same areas as a buzz frog or a hollow belly frog or a popping
Mm-hmm.
frog, right? Or even a buzz bait. Like, but when do you choose to throw it over one of those other type of baits I just mentioned?
Yeah, so when I've caught them the best on it, I had a really good tournament at Seminole. I guess it was, I want to say not this past season, but last season. It may have been three. I don't know. Whenever it was, whenever last time we were at Seminole, um, there was big pad fields, like real expansive, and you could have got away with a swim jig, but I just couldn't. And I don't know if I was fishing around a good bit of people. I don't know if it was like a pressure thing, but when I threw that by itself over the swim jig with a paddle tail on it, I got way more bite. Like they would commit to it, like they would actually eat it instead of run up there and try and hit it. And like I said, I don't know if it was a profile thing, but whatever it was, like something about whatever that bait was doing was making those fish actually commit to it when everybody else was throwing something similar around. And it may have been because they haven't seen it before. Because when you get it in the water, the next time you throw it, like when you rig it up, like how I had it, like we'll get into it, it's a different action than anything that's out there for that style of fishing. But like I said, that was in a big, expansive, like per se, a grass flat, like kind of lily pads and stuff. It's really good, like in a hydrilla milfoil type situation, like where you've got submerged grass and you can kind of kill it around the holes. You can burn it on top with that. And one sneaky way that it's actually really good for is skipping under docks. It skips like the best bait you've ever skipped in your life, like because there's nothing to stop it. Like there's no blade. It's not like skipping a horny toad on a buzz bait. And even with a horny toad, like trying to skip it by itself, the legs start getting twisted and it wants to tumble. To where this has got that flat body with the big tail and it'll just kind of slide all the way through there.
Hmm.
Also, the way the bait was made, what he really designed it for was to skip under docks because you would skip it under, let it be kind of subsurface and just kind of slow wind it back, almost like a mag draft bite that's not a true swim bait profile. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%. I love that. And I actually got the inspiration to text you about this because I found them in my basement. And I was like, I went and watched the Wired to Fish video that Brandon Cobb
That
did. And
Cobb did. Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, this thing is juicy. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
and I mean, I was like, oh, who can I get on to chat about this? So I was like, oh, obviously I'm going to call Wes because I know we talked about it in a previous episode. But, I want to know your best way to rig it at this point because I feel like there's a few different options. You could do like a screw lock, a straight EWG. Like, how do you like it?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say there's probably three of the best ways to rig it. Number one, it's a really good swim jig trailer. It looks like it would be bulky, and I even thought that, like putting it as a like it doesn't have the obviously the narrow body that the other paddle tails do, but the rocking action it gives the swim jig, it just amplifies. Like it just, I mean, it basically like if you can throw it out there and you've got let's just say you got a white swim jig with a like if you've got a white weed guard like a weed guard you can see like if you've got it in real clear water the weed guard is almost turning a 180 or it'd be 90 degrees I guess one way
That's a
like
crazy
it
roll.
rock yes it's a crazy like it's very aggressive roll with it. Now if you're in a situation obviously you want to be subtle you wouldn't want to go that route but it's a real aggressive roll like if you're around some really big fish like down in Florida or like like a Tennessee River or anything like that or even big large like a Cayuga or something. I've never been there but where you're winding something around some big largemouth, really good for that or even some big smallmouth I guess if they're real aggressive in a situation like that maybe in the river or something. um, the way I caught them the best and how I like to rig it the most, I just get a 5/0 EWG Gamakatsu Sunline, or not Sunline, Superline. I like the nano coated one with doing like any kind of winding bait now because it's just so much slicker. Like you get a lot better hook penetration with the fish. And I'll actually peg a small tungsten weight, then it just depends on how fast I want it to sink, how far down in the water I want it to be. Like you could get a 16th, a 8th, a 3/16, just depending on how you want it to run. Eighth would probably be a good one to start at, like if you've never used it, just to kind of get your feel for what it looks like and what it's going to do, and then just obviously just peg that because your weight's going to slide up the line if you don't. And then the third's going to be with a screw lock. You can throw it on a Gamakatsu. It's a spring lock spinner. Like it'll have the weight, like a belly weight with the spinner on it. It can be really good for that if you're around any kind of shad spawn type situation. Going down seawalls, even throwing around like big laydowns and stuff. Probably like some of the stuff Cobb was doing in that video. I watched a little bit of it when he did it. I was actually there when he was filming. And I think he caught some like going down the bank, just throwing it like under hanging trees or overhanging trees, like throwing under them and like laydowns and stuff. If I'm ever like trying to go down the bank with it, like he was doing, I like the blade on it just because it adds a little bit something to it.
A little more
But that's
flash.
basically, yeah, just something you can put it on a buzz bait. I still like a horny toad on a buzz bait. Just I don't know, it's just me because the problem is the way that paddle tail with the body makes it want to rock. It affects your blade, like going through the water. If that makes sense, like it's not a straight. Your blade will like come out of the water, go in the water. It's like it messes up the sound to me, which is what you really want with the buzz bait. So I don't really use it for that. Like I said, it's more definitely subsurface. Like you're still watching it. It's still like a visual bite for the most part, but it's definitely that right under it to 6 to 8 inches down.
Sure. And then like you're set up to throw it, right? Like rod, reel,
Mm-hmm.
line. Is it braid, straight braid to fluorocarbon, gear ratio, reel? And I'm really curious about your rod setup.
You're getting that. You're gonna get that all the goods, ain't it?
And
It's
that's what we're here at Lure Labs to
Oh
bring
yeah,
you the
absolutely.
goods, right?
Yeah, and there's not the cool thing about this technique and this bait is there's not a set like you have to do it this way. It all depends on It's all situational, like a lot of things. But like when I caught him at Seminole that time, I was throwing it on a 7.3, my mag medium heavy. It's a literally anything, and I wished I had a rod that was a 7 foot. I wanted a little more length because I was having to make real long casts. So I was having to fish. I mean, we went through this with my swim jig rod. I didn't have my swim jig rod at the time. It was still like in production. But the 7.5 would have probably been better for that situation. 7.5 medium heavy, just because you're making long casts, you want to keep the rod tip kind of angled up, probably at 2 o'clock to 12 o'clock, to keep that bait running right. And obviously, if you one hits you at the end of your cast, like you got some leverage on him to get him out of that stuff. But if you're not making those super long casts, like the 7.3 is really good. I was throwing 50-pound FX2 Sunline braid just because of the vegetation. Like the line wasn't really an issue. The water was clean, but it wasn't like crystal clear. Like there wasn't a braid, needing to be fluorocarbon issue there. Uh, Gear ratio reel was a 7 to 1, just because that's kind of my all around reel anyway. But you can you can slow it down a little bit, or you can speed it up. Like if you get into those eights, like it's gonna be fast regardless. And then you get down into the sixes, like you're really gonna have to speed your reel up. And if you're doing it all day, it's gonna wear you out. I could see going down the bank, in a clear water situation, going to like 20 to 22 pound, shooter sunline fluorocarbon.
Sure.
And skipping docks too. The two scenarios where I'd use fluorocarbon is just kind of going down the bank, or with the skipping under the docks, because I'm not a big fan of braid around any kind of like man-made structure or rock or wood or anything like that. Like grass, I love it. It's great. It's not very abrasion resistant. Like yeah, it'll cut through grass, but like it doesn't have that abrasion resistance that fluorocarbon does. Like if you get against a float, or happen to hit a metal cross beam or something, like fluorocarbon's not going to break just like it cut it, like a razor, like the braid will. So that's why I kind of, when I'm around any kind of hard cover, is why I really like fluorocarbon. And even with my buzz baits, I do the same. And you would apply this same situation to like if you had it on a swim jig, like if you're around grass, just put it on straight braid and freaking hammer them when they get it. But making medium to far cast, I would use the 7.5, my 100K rod, and then kind of short cast and skipping docks, stuff like that. That 7.3 is going to be the one to go to.
I won't lie. I think that FAFO rod that I have is currently one of my favorite rods, and Bailey loves it too. So,
Well, all you got to do is get the ones in the other line. You'll love them just as much.
oh, I'm sure I will. Like I've been messing around, tooling around with like a bunch of different rods, and man, there's some like it seems like as I'm fiddling around with rods, there's like certain ones in each category that
That
are
are
just.
really good.
I'm like, oh man, this is fun.
I really want you to use my spinning rod, because everybody that grabs it, they're like, dude, this is like sneaky good. And I don't know
Okay.
how it got that good, because like I told Louis what I wanted it to feel like. That's what he sent me, and it's been basically perfect from the first prototype run. And it's like, obviously people don't go and they're like looking for like Wes's spinning rod, but they get it and they're like, man, this is like really good, like good minnow rod and a good
Which one
control.
is it the 7.2 rod?
No, it's the six. I think it's a 610.
Mm.
It's the desperation rod. It's the 7.2. So if I took the action that the desperation is and put it on the 7.2, it would probably be just as good, just longer. But I made my 7.2 heavier, like just all around, like a heavier action, a little less tip, just for more like Ned rig fishing, shaky head fishing, like brush pile type stuff.
Makes sense.
Kind of like up north, the finesse jig, the sniper
Right.
jig type
Yeah.
stuff, like where you really just need to like you got a little bit bigger line, you need a little bit of backbone, they may be a little bit deeper, stuff like that, like the heavier wire Ned rig, the jig type stuff
Sure.
like that.
Yeah. And we just got way off topic, and I
Yeah.
apologize. My bad.
No,
So, yeah, I'll have to check that one out. The 610. I've tend to like I've started gravitating to slightly shorter rods when I'm drop shot fishing, minnow
yeah,
fishing, etc. So I'm gonna have to check that one out. So thanks
I'm
for the sneaky tidbit there.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm
Is
wrong.
it backwards?
No, it's a 7 foot.
All
It
right.
was my original rod. I wanted it 610, and I changed it to 7. So it's a 7 foot medium light is what it is. That's my bad.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Fair enough. All
To
right.
add you 2 more inches to that. Now back to the Unito.
I was going to say something, but I probably shouldn't have 2 inches. But
Hey, that goes a long way, buddy. I don't care what you're talking about. Any aspect of life, if you can add 2 inches to it, most of the time you're in a good situation.
no joke, no
I mean,
joke. I was like, man,
ain't nobody turning it down. I can tell you that. Like,
I mean, some people may, but
no, shit. Roll Tide. Yes, sir.
well, we're to digress real fast. I want to know, like, because there's only a handful of colors, right? Like 5 or 6
Yep.
unitone colors on the market. Like, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of your go-to colors in the best conditions to throw them in,
Yeah,
like
my number
sunlight,
one. Yeah,
watercolor, etc.
yeah, my number one. Mainly love to start with is the sun gill color. Like, it's my just all time favorite for that type of presentation. Majority of the time you're fishing, around some type of bluegill. Like, I don't know. That's just my confidence. When I like the color, I've always liked that color in a lot of different baits, and our sun gill is really good. The way the tones are, and the way they, it's kind of broke down. You have it's obviously real defined. Um,
In my opinion, it's like the most slept on color in the Zoom lineup. Like
yeah,
my favorite baby brush hog color is
sun
the
gill.
sungill, and
Yeah,
it's so hard to find that one. Like,
they're all hard to find, dude. Like, if you want a special color, like they make it, like,
yeah,
but and you'll go, dude. It's so cool. Like, it's not cool, but Zoom's so cool, dude. You'll walk in this random gas station in the middle of nowhere, and there's a little wall of baits over there, and there'll be a Zoom color you've never seen in a bait, and you're like, dude, I got to get those.
yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
so awesome.
yeah.
But yeah,
Sungill baby brush hog is unreal. Like,
Sun Gill is probably my number one, and that's going to be like that's just probably the one I'm going to start with. Like, and that's just normal kind of water conditions, like maybe stained a little bit, maybe a little clear, like you can just see. Like this isn't so to just reiterate, this isn't a bait you're going to throw like in some mud. Like it's more of a sight deal than anything. So to get that out of the way, number two, it's going to have to be white or black. I mean, and that's going to be depending on like weather conditions, water conditions. Like if it's cloudy outside, throw a black one. If you're wanting to just be basic with the colors, or that you have one or the other, like if it's bright outside, throw the white one. Or dude, what's crazy? Like you say that, like, well, you're supposed to do this when it's like this. It don't always work that way. Like
Never.
it just really don't. So I've simplified it down in the last 2 years of my fishing. Throw out there what you got a lot of confidence in. If that's what you start with, is what you have the most confidence in. If they're not eating it very well, change colors.
Go
If
to your
you
number two
go
confidence
to
and
your
keep it there.
like if you're throwing a black one and they're coming up on it and just biting the tail, or they're hitting it and like with their mouth closed, change to a white one. Like go completely the opposite. If they're still not eating it, change up your retrieve. If you still can't get them to bite it, lay it down, throw something else. Like it's not the deal. It's really, and it's easy for me and you to sit here and talk about that, but it's a throughout the 5 or 6 hours that you're fishing. Like I've always said, and I learned this from swim jig fishing. If you come by a very high percentage place and you do everything right, like you bring it by there, like flutter it the right way, like he had every opportunity to come up here and eat it, and he doesn't get it, something's wrong. It was too slow. It was too fast. It was the wrong color. It was the wrong trailer. So you can apply that to a lot of different things. Like if he had every opportunity, like if you didn't blow by there, or the wind was blowing real hard, or there was waves or something and he misses it, that's one thing. But if everything was perfect and he still doesn't get it, it's when you really need to switch up. So white or black in that second column, and then a real clear water shad spawn skipping under docks is the natural shad. Like it's go to money. Like love it. It's real. It's real. Like it's just not that white. Like it's just. I mean, it's basically what the color is. It's natural. Like it's natural shad. It's got enough flake in it that if the sun's out, you get a lot of like translucent type looking, but you still got some flash in it. It's just any any suspended fish, floating dock type situation. The natural shad's definitely the way to go.
I guess I should have held up these colors as you're
You've
talking.
got the two good ones.
I've got two
Like
of the three good ones, right? Like, so this is that sungill. It's got like a green pumpkinish. I love the flake in
the
sungill.
blue flake.
The blue, the
Yeah,
greens, the
yeah.
golds, coppers. It's so good, and that has that orange belly. And that natural shad is just that. It's like a ghost color and all the same flake, pretty much. Besides the blue, it's got some purple and greens in it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's hard to tell on camera how much flake is actually in
oh,
that natural shad. Um, Especially when the sun, like you get on a clear lake with the sun, like it really is prominent. Like you can actually see it with your eyes in the water, like when the sun reflects off
ooh,
of it. There's
it
so bright.
glistens,
It
is what you're
does.
saying.
It does.
It glistens nice.
Andy has a lot better vocabulary than I do.
I blame that on my northern education. It's not very good vocabulary. It's just I know big words. Okay,
I'm
I
with
might
you.
not know
I'm
what they
with you.
mean.
Oh,
so, so two more questions for you, Wes. I'm going to let you run here, but one, what is one of the biggest mistakes that anglers make when they are throwing the uni toad?
I think like I started out the whole deal is the misconception of them trying to throw it like that, gurgling, reeling it fast on top, and it just doesn't like because I've had people tell me they're like, dude, you throw that thing? I'm like, yeah, like it's really good. And they're like, no, it's not. It's horrible. I'm like, well, what are you doing with it? Like what? They're like, well, it doesn't like gurgle the top of the water or how whatever word they use. I was like, well, it's not designed for that. Like it's made for, and when you explain it to somebody like how to fish it, they're like, oh, and it like opens their eyes to a whole different. But when people are trying to throw it in one situation, like you're not really looking for the situation to really throw it into what it's going to excel in. Like if you're throwing it over like stuff and you're trying to like if you're burning it through Kissimmee grass, like it's not going to work. So like I think that's kind of what happened with like a lot of the Florida guys are like, man, this thing doesn't really do what it's supposed to. Where it wasn't even really designed for that. So I think that's the biggest misconception. It's more of a subsurface bait, and I try and tell everybody that I can because it's a really slept on bait that gets a lot of bites. So I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that people are making.
Oh man. So leads me into the final question, right? So we're kind of touching on this, and you've already kind of touched on it a little bit through this episode, but the Lure Lab is presented by Omnia, and the Omnia Juice of the Week question is, why should anglers stop sleeping on the Unitoad?
I hope they keep sleeping on it, but
Love it. Love it.
but I do from a fisherman standpoint, but I don't from a business standpoint. But yeah, I really think it's just something different. Like it's a little bit different action. And I know I'm reiterating myself, but if you're ever the guy that throws the screw in lock, EWG hook on the paddle tail type swim baits like the ones we mentioned, like give this a try because you will be able to go in areas where the fish may be getting used to that type of deal, and you're gonna get some extra bites with this. And one thing I will mention with that, when I mentioned the twirling thing, because I thought about it, but I forgot to mention it. When that bait's twirling through the water like this, the other brand swim baits, I guess we'll just say, because I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody, but they do it. Like you can't make them not do it. I've tried. You have an opportunity to get a bad hookup, like if he eats it on the downward rotation. Okay, so like if it's twirling and he eats it and the hook's point's pointed down, like you're liable to get him in the bottom of the lip, like just in a bad angle. Where a lot of times the way this rocks, it keeps that hook point flat on top, still weedless. It's exposed, but again you've got the ribs on the top, the ridges like a horny toad, so it's kind of a little bit weedless. You're not going to get a lot of that hook point rolling over it, and with an opportunity to get a bad hook set or a bad hookup on those fish. So that's a big deal with that too. So, but yeah, I think like once you put one in the water and rig it one of the three ways, like I said, but definitely the number one way is with that peg smaller tungsten weight. Like it's a deadly way to get a bite, and it's so fun to watch them eat it. Like it's like I get addicted to that kind of bite. Like that's just why you bass fish.
Heck yeah, man. Like, there's nothing about, like, I think some of the most exciting bites in bass fishing, right? Frog, buzzbait, any type of topwater walking
Yeah,
bait, and then anything that is slightly subsurface
subsurface.
where it's so visual and you get like that wake, but you
Yes.
sometimes how big they are, but sometimes you don't because they eat it so fast, and then
Yeah,
you're
a lot of the
surprised.
when I was catching them in that Seminole tournament, like dude, I was making so far cast, like you would see the weight coming, and like you're just sitting there waiting, like whining, like you don't try not to get in a hurry, and you're just waiting for it to just go thump, like or just the line cut, like, and
Yeah,
you don't know if he's 2 pounds or 6 pounds, like it's just an awesome. But when you can actually see the bait, like they'll eat a mag draft like that too, like they'll just come up there and eat it, like
yeah.
it reminds me like I don't know if you've seen the videos like on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. Like you know how they feed the tuna, and then them big tuna come up and they don't even break the top of the water, but they're
Yeah,
like that long and they just. I'm like, dude, I can do that all day. Like I just,
100%. Sign me up.
yeah, I mean, I don't. I just want to throw something out there and watch him do it. Like I ain't even got to hook him or nothing. Just let me throw a
I'll
cricket
tell
over
you, smallmouth fishing would be the most exciting fishing if you could get those like subsurface bites all the time with them because
it.
they're
Yes.
sharking everything.
Oh yeah,
It,
yeah.
it just sucks because a lot of times those bites are little tiny baits and
Yep. And they just go. Thump.
they're like 5-6 foot below the surface and you
Yep.
can't see them and you're just like, oh god, oh god.
Yep. Yep. I had some. I've caught some on a spy bait this year when we were at St. Lawrence, and dude, they would. I didn't see them eat it, but they hit it so hard, dude. It was like it was the coolest bite ever.
You're just reeling and you're all of a sudden your line is like
Yeah.
either gone or it's like 6 foot at you and you're just like, oh
Yes.
god, oh god, oh
Where'd it
god, oh
go?
god.
Yeah. 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 And like you're trying to catch up to him, and he just comes flying by the trolling motor. You're like, I don't know. He's either gonna stay hooked or he's coming off right now, like that
Yeah.
quick.
Oh, the worst is the when they go to push it like that and you finally catch up to them. And by the time you hit them, they turn and go the other way. And
Yeah.
you're
So
just
they're
like,
taking off. Yeah.
oh my God, save
Yeah.
me.
But yeah, if
That,
you could catch them like that, like it's. And I've caught some swimming a jig, but it's just not. It's they just like that little stuff, dude, and it's
yeah.
hard to get them to do it. Like,
I think one of the best like topwater bites for smallmouth, and we're getting way off topic, and we're gonna wrap it up here in a second, is a Chapo or a Whopper Plopper style
they
bait.
just get so mad at it. Like, yeah, it's not even like a walking bait bite.
No,
Like they eat that thing, but like, and spotted bass are the same, dude. They'll hit a spook and like our outlaw and the cane, like all the walking stuff. Dude, when they hit that flopper or chopo, they're pissed off at it. Like,
It's like a depth charge. Like if you ever
yeah,
seen the old World War II videos of them dropping those depth
yes.
charges up, yeah, it's the same deal with the
And
whopper.
cause and dude, they never have it in their face. Like they always like the side of it. Like they're just coming up there like pissed off. I'm like, God. Sometimes, dude, I don't like throwing it.
No,
Like, cause you like you'll hook them for a minute and then they just go ballistic. Like I don't know why they're so mad at it. Like,
I've gotten on that bite 2 times in Buffalo, like immediate post spawn.
mm-hmm.
And when a 6 pounder grabs that thing at Mock Jesus, like it is not good. It's the most
Yeah, you
terrifying
literally you're
exciting
just
thing.
holding on. Like, what do you do?
Boosh.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's cool. It's really cool, but I mean, sometimes you might as well be fishing without no hooks because he's gonna come off most of the time.
no, he'll get like one barely
Little bitty
treble
one.
hook.
Yep. Yep. And then he goes to jumping, doing backflips and all that. That's why I like my largemouth. Like when they eat something, most of the time they just
It's
they
go.
got. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, all right, man. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on. It's good seeing you and chatting with you.
absolutely.
So I hope you have a good fall and what you have 1 or 2 more events with the MPFL, right?
Got two. Got
2?
me. Yeah, I got to go to Logan Martin, and then the last year's championship will be on Hartwell the following week. So that should be a really good tournament to watch for anybody tuning in. That'll be a good one.
Heck yeah, man. Go catch him up and we'll chat soon, buddy.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you.
Of course, anytime. Thank you.
See ya.
And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode here on the Lure Lab presented by Omnia. We greatly appreciate you, and I hope you took some nuggets away from this one and tie up a unitoad and start catching a bunch of big bass on it. If you do, hit us with that tag on your Instagram or on your favorite social media platform. We want to see those catches. Even DM us and send them over. If you enjoyed this episode and you're new here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. Leave some comments down below of what your favorite frog bait is, or if you've thrown the unitoad. We love to hear it. If you're listening on your favorite MP3 or podcast platform, please leave a review. If you do so, it helps the Lure Lab, the Serious Angler Network, be seen by more people who love and are interested in bass fishing. So until next week, we will see you then.